Hey, what's up? Andrei from CBRN Academy here. We are very excited to bring you a review of Avon FM12 respirator, which throughout the decades it has been around, gained almost a cult-like status. Even though the production of FM12 was discontinued years ago, it is still considered a golden standard in personal CBRN protection by many specialists and preppers alike. In this video, we'll analyze FM12's design and how it compares to another gas mask design from the 1990s. We'll also take a look at Avon FM12's accessories and of course test how it performs during strenuous physical activity. But not only that, we are going to also evaluate its performance by conducting a simple training of donning a protective suit meant to be used with FM12, followed by a decontamination drill after being hit by a splash of a dangerous warfare chemical agent. First of all, we want to thank our supporter for providing us with this new factory-sealed FM12, as nowadays they're really hard to find. The mask comes with a black carrying bag, and as you can see, there's an older Avon's website address printed on front, as the company is now called Avon Protection, which sounds far better. The bag has no mole webbing, only a loop through which you can attach it to your belt or a carbine. To access the mask, we must first unzip the top lid. As is always the case with buttons and zippers on gas mask storage units, I prefer Velcro instead for quicker and unobstructed access to the respirator, because in the event of imminent threat, every second matters. However, I quickly realized this bag is probably meant for a long time storage only, as I would be hardly able to fit the mask in with a filter mounted. A new FM12 comes in a sealed plastic bag and I almost feel bad for breaking it, but without doing so, this would hardly be a review, so let's take a deep breath. And ta-da! Avon FM12, ladies and gentlemen. There's also something else in the bag's inner pocket. A user manual in English and Spanish. Cool! At first glance, it looks rather unimpressive compared to modern, badass looking gas masks, but don't let the appearance fool you. The reason why the rubber looks grayish is because there's still a layer of a rubber preservative powder on it, so no worries, it's not defective. The facepiece of FM12 is made of high quality butyl rubber that provides excellent protection against all known CBRN agents and industrial chemicals. FM12 comes in three sizes. Size 1 is large, size 2 is medium, and size 3 is small. Just as is the case with many other respirators, size 2 will fit most of the adult population. You can find the size number embossed on the left cheek of the mask. There's a stamp on the right cheek with the year of manufacture and country of origin. This FM12 was made in the UK in 2012. The mask features two polycarbonate eyepieces, which according to Avon's manual are impact and scratch resistant. New FM12 respirators came with these eyepiece protective stickers that need to be removed before use, both from the outside and from the inside. Nowadays many people tend to look at gas masks with two eyepieces as old school, but in my opinion, this design offers unparalleled flexibility compared to many sturdy gas masks with a single visor. This alone has a huge impact on the overall comfort and adaptability of the mask to the user's face. This FM12 variant is single port, meaning that you can attach a filter only to one side of the mask. The right filter port is sealed by a non-removable secondary voice diaphragm or speech transmitter, but there are other variants available. There's a single port variant for left-handed shooters, and I previously owned a twin port FM12 variant with a removable speech transmitter, but that one was made in 1995 and it wasn't in the greatest condition. This is the primary speech module or PSM cover, underneath of which a speech horn is located, allowing clear communication through exhale valve. Later in the video, we'll compare its voice audibility with OM90's dedicated voice diaphragm. What's interesting is that the PSM cover can be removed and replaced by covers made of different color. What we have here are red and white covers, but there are many more. Their purpose was to differentiate ranks of officers wearing the mask, but I don't know much about this subject, so if you happen to know more, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I feel like switching to the red cover for the rest of the video because it looks rad. You most likely noticed there's a drinking tube wrapped around the PSM cover, and I'll explain how the fluid intake system works later. Inside the mask, we have an oral nasal cup and a positionable drinking straw operated by a lever located on the left upper side of the PSM cover. The FM12 gas mask features a 6-point head harness system, which is considered a standard in terms of great weight distribution and comfort in military CBRN respirators. As this FM12 has never been used, we need to adjust the straps before we proceed with the testing. To completely loosen the top and middle straps, we need to open these plastic buckles, which secure the straps in a pre-adjusted position with these little clamp plates. You might need some plastic tool to help you open that up, so you wouldn't break a nail, as they are quite stiff. The bottom straps can be easily loosened, as they are the only ones you work with after the rest of the straps have been pre-adjusted. The mask is being done, as I call it, in the old-fashioned way, meaning you need to stretch the bottom straps, insert your chin in the mask first, and then flip the head harness over your head, so the harness pad is located at the center of the back of the head. Now we need to tighten the bottom straps first, then proceed with the middle ones. Once the middle straps have been comfortably tightened, we need to close the buckles with the clamp plates so the straps would be secured in the pre-adjusted position. The same applies to the two top straps. To take the mask off, loosen the bottom straps, grab the mask by the PSM cover and pull it upwards. Now it would be a good time to screw in a compatible 40mm NATO filter. And now for real. To find out whether the mask seals, we perform a negative pressure test by placing the palm of the hand in front of the filter opening and inhale sharply a few times. To give you a better perspective on why I consider FM12 a great respirator, let's make a brief comparison with OM90, or as many of you might know it, CM7M. These two models are quite similar, but at the same time they differ in various aspects. Let's start with the positives both masks share. FM12 and CM7M are made of high-quality butyl rubber and they come in 3 sizes. CM7M comes in one twin-port variant, which is in my opinion much better than the 3 different variants FM12 has. It's great to have a possibility to simply pick a side on which I want to have a filter mounted, but first you need fingers of steel, which from what you can see I do not have. I was struggling for a while and the port plug didn't even budge. But hello, lighter, my old friend. We had to do the same thing with CM8M, so we know our way around at this point. Both masks are being donned the same old-fashioned way, but CM7M has a 5-point head harness system instead of the much better 6-point. That's why CM8M, which is basically an improved version of CM7M, has a 6-point head harness system. The straps of CM7M seem to be made of inferior materials, as they do not slide the buckles with ease and they need to be pulled with considerable force just to get them to move. You can even hear the material ripping while tightening the bottom straps, and that's not good. It's important to mention that this is not the CM7M from 1998 we used during its review. This one was made in 2014, so it's even newer than the FM12 we are currently reviewing. Just look how easily the FM12 straps move. It's a night and day difference. Another crucial difference between FM12 and CM7M is where the exhale valve is placed and how voice transmission works, which also makes a difference in how sweat and condensation is removed from the mask. As we explained, FM12 has a front exhale valve which also serves as a voice transmitter, whereas CM7M has a dedicated voice diaphragm and an exhale valve placed on the bottom of the facepiece. It means that in case of CM7M, sweat and condensation simply drops off the bottom, but to remove it from FM12, you need to lean forward, exhale and let the fluids exit the mask. Not that there's anything wrong with any of the two designs, it's just something you should be aware of.
Here's how my voice sounds through FM12's voice horn and the secondary voice emitter. OM90, on the other hand, has a dedicated voice diaphragm, but I don't remember my voice sounding like this. It's actually bad, and maybe it's with this particular one, no idea.
I'm quite sure there's something wrong with this mask's membrane, because the OM90 from 1998 we previously reviewed had an excellent voice quality. The eyepieces of CM7M are made of hardened glass and they are deep-seated inside the facepiece, so there's basically little to no possibility of scratching or damaging them by accident. The eyepieces of FM12 are made of scratch-resistant polycarbonate and there are protective outlets for them, but unfortunately I do not have them. The field of view of FM12 is slightly better than the one of CM7M, but there is not a huge difference between the two overall. One last thing I'd like to mention is the difference in how drinking tubes of these masks are designed. Although they are both wrapped in front of the mask and used in similar fashion, the rubber cover of the coupling half of CM7M hangs on this plastic hook when not used, while Avon's drinking tube is inserted into its designated port. I've seen a few CM7Ms with a torn rubber cover either by negligence or material wear, which never happens with a drinking tube of FM12. With all things considered, I like FM12 better. But if there's some aspect you guys think I missed about any of the two, let me know in the comment section. Even though I do not own the clear outserts, I have these red tinted ones, and to this day it's not clear to me what purpose they serve. Not to mention, I don't even know whether they're genuine or just a homemade product made by some eBay entrepreneur. The outserts have flexible rubber edges so they can be securely mounted onto the eyepieces. There's a theory that the red outserts help your eyes to adjust better for bright light when coming from dark environments and vice versa. Another theory claims they make you see demons. But let's be real, that's just nonsense. Look!
Whoa! It really makes you see demons. Awesome!
Not that I wouldn't want to hang out with my demon friends, but I have a review to finish. My vision is now messed up because of the aggressive color contrast while wearing these, so I'll just take them off. As this is not my first time wearing FM12, I know exactly what to expect from it during the 30-minute long jogging test. The mask is very comfortable, the oral nasal cup doesn't squeeze your nose, the vision is crystal clear, and there's absolutely no fogging on the eyepieces. Even after the 30-minute mark, wearing FM12 didn't cause any kind of discomfort. What else can you ask for? But this time, we decided to expand the testing and include one additional phase in form of donning a protective suit. Running around in a gas mask is one thing, but to perform other tasks as well is a bit different story. And as this suit is meant to be used with FM12, we couldn't miss the opportunity. I'm sure many of you are curious about the suit, but that's not what this review is about. We will make a video about it soon, as protective suits are another important topic we plan to address later this year. It takes a little practice, but to carry out various activities while wearing FM12 is not restrictive to say the least. Filming tends to be hectic, so I often forget to hydrate. But I'm already fully dressed, so I'd rather use the mask's drinking system. The drinking system of FM12 is identical to all the other contemporary Avon respirators like C50 or FM53. To use it, we need to pull the coupling half from the port, unwrap the drinking tube and connect it to the drinking bottle. Using the lever, we position the inner straw inside the inner mask so it can be grasped with the lips and inserted into the mouth. It also opens up a valve which allows for water to start flowing. When you're done, turn the lever and put the drinking tube and the coupling half into the preset position.
This is basically it, guys. I hope you liked it, because I hope I didn't just get sprayed with mustard or something. Let's see.
Instead of taking the mask off and smelling or tasting the unknown liquid substance, I will use a detector paper and, well, it seems to be mustard, but not the condiment you put on hot dogs. Luckily, I carry decontamination wipes as part of my CBRN kit, and they couldn't have come in more handy. They were kindly gifted to us by the Laboratory Technologies company, much appreciated. The S4FE-D Decon wipes effectively remove up to 99% of truly dangerous CBRN agents, and I can't think of a better way for untrained non-military personnel to deal with this kind of life-threatening situations. We also received other decontamination products we'd like to explore in our upcoming tutorial about personal decontamination. That's gonna be a lot of fun. After I removed all the droplets from my protective equipment and checked for residual contaminants, it's important to dispose of used wipes safely. If there's no other option available, just bury them into the ground. I know, it's not the most ecological way, but hey, we're talking about emergency scenario when you're on your own. And now to the final verdict. Avon FM12 is, in my opinion, a timeless respirator I can recommend to anyone. It's lightweight, compact, very comfortable even for a prolonged period of wearing, and it features all what I would expect from a decent gas mask. However, FM12 is no longer being produced, which is a shame considering it could possibly fill the gap on the civilian market when it comes to affordable, high-quality CBRN respirators, especially in the US. So guys, I hope you liked this video, like and subscribe, and if you'll excuse me, I have a demon party to attend to.
Ah, Beelzebub, my friend, how have you been?